A question I often get is all well and good to train these models and deploy them within a Jupyter notebook. But how would I use these models in the real world? How to actually connect the output of these machine learning models to a real application like a mobile phone like that? Well, that's a whole thing. We are getting into the world of actually designing larger guidance, but I will give you some high level guidance anyway. Now, obviously, your external applications are not going to be running Jupyter notebooks and getting its results that way locally. What we need to do is separate the process of training and tuning our model from the process of actually making predictions based on that model. So the training part can all be done offline, right? We can do that within our notebook, or we can export a standalone Python script that gets run periodically, perhaps to pick up new training data as it comes in. Maybe it's even running in some sort of a streaming environment, but that can end up, you can still use your new notebooks for that if you want to refine it, but have a trained model. Remember, we just have a model like a classifier that's sitting there in a scikit-learn at that point, and all we have to do is call predict on it. So it's possible to actually export that model to a file and execute that model on a web service. So the idea would be to push the model out to a web service fleet. This could be like something on the cloud somewhere where it's just running a distributed set of services where hopefully you don't have to take care of the actual servers themselves. Service does is respond to a web service request over REST or some other interfaces. It says features data that I want, give me a prediction, and that our trained model that's deployed to that entire web service can then quickly provide that result back at large scale, and hopefully how latency and high transactions rates reliably. So your app would call the web service that actually just generates a predictions based on the model, but the model itself is created offline, and then the results of that model, the model itself is created to the web service. Let's talk about some more specific examples here to make it real. Let's say you are using Google Cloud Service. One way you could do this very easily is to just use the sklearn external job lib methods here. With it, you can just say job lib dot dump with whatever your model is, any classifier, which can be anything, right? K means you can even like have a deep learning classifier there if you want as well, and scikit-learn can dump that out to a file after it's been trained. You just save it, and for Google Cloud it wants it to be called model.joblib. You would then upload the resulting model.joblib, which contains the model itself, to Google Cloud storage, and from there you can just say this is a gonna run within the scikit-learn framework, and it will know what to do with it. At that point you can just tie a cloud ML engine into the Google Cloud ML engine, and that will expose a REST API that you can call to make predictions in real time based on that model that you uploaded to the Google Cloud. See how that works. So basically you would train your classifier offline in a notebook or whatever, however you do it, export that classifier to a file, upload that file into Google Cloud storage, and then Google Cloud's ML engine could actually interact with that with your application over a REST API. And if you don't know the REST API, as it is basically the same protocol that you use for looking at websites. So when you go to your web browser and say I want to look at this URL, that's sending a REST get request to a server sometimes that says I want to get the result of this URL. It backs in the same exact way your application would say I want to get a prediction for this set of features and give it back to me, please. Same exact mechanism you can get a lot more complicated too. Let's say that using Amazon Web Service and you wanted to build an entire end-to-end system that makes product recommendation. One way to do this in AWS would be if you have a fleet of servers that are generating order data. You know, if you are actually monitoring the servers where people are placing orders, we could have a service called Kinesis Data Firehouse running on top of those servers that is feeding those log data information into Amazon S3 storage, and from there Amazon's Elastic Map Reduce service could be consuming that log data from S3, and maybe that contains all the purchase information or all the view information or all the ratings informations for the stuff that we want to recommend. And on Amazon Elastic Map Reduce, we could be running Apache Spark across an entire cluster that's consuming that data from S3 and creating predictions, creating recommendations based on that data. Now in this case, I am not going to push the actual model itself out to a web service. I am just going to push the results of it out. So what I could do is pre-generate recommendations for every user ahead of time, and so after consuming all of the latest data from S3, all the latest purchase data or ratings data, whatever, you have to work with, I can go off and use Apache Spark to generate predicted recommended items that people might like for every user in my system. I could then publish that to something like Amazon DynamoDB, which is just a NoSQL database that will allow me to very quickly associate a list of item identified with a list of user identifiers, and that will be very fast way of looking up what items should I recommend for a given user. So I take the output of the model and I publish the output to something more scalable like DynamoDB. Sorry. DynamoDB is horizontally scalable, so it can handle very high transaction rates at very low latency. Then to expose that to the outside world, I could use something like AWS Lambda, which is their serverless functionality that just lets you write very simple function that would access that DynamoDB database for a given user and retrieve the results back for some applications, and it does it in such a manner that you don't have to worry about actual provisioning server capacity to run that. AWS take care of all that for you. In front of that, you might have something called the Amazon API Gateway, which actually would provide the REST interface that your mobile apps or websites would actually talk to retrieve that data. So looking at it from the other directions, your client application could say, I want to get recommendations for this user ID. It would say, okay, Amazon API Gateway, give me recommendation for this user ID. Throw some REST query behind the scenes that could transfer that request to AWS Lambda, which again has to be scalable. Lambda would say, okay, I am going to take this and execute a little bit of JavaScript code or something to retrieve the actual item ID in DynamoDB for that user ID, and that was all pre-generated by Apache Spark running on EMR, creating recommendations of Amazon S3. So this is more complicated way that that is more of an example of sort of the things you might see in the real world. So you know, these systems do tend to get rather complicated because as soon as you start dealing with massive scale, you need to deal with the cloud at some point, and you have to deal with technologies like Apache Spark that can scale up to massive database. So this is sort of more advanced example, if you will, but very real one of how you might actually implement something like that in the real world. Again, the key is that the actual generation of the model is separated from the vending of the data. That's process of actually building the recommendations themselves, but then we push the actual recommendations down to something that more scalable to DynamoDB front end by Lambda, which is ultimately fronted by Amazon API Gateway, and then we have an end-to-end system that can actually handle vending the results of our model at massive scale. And there are other ways of doing it as well. You could just write your own web service if you wanted to, using Flask or something, or whatever web service framework you like. You would then have to obviously provision your own service and maintain them, which is not a whole lot of them. I mean, that's why people use service like AWS and Google Cloud and Azure these days. Also, you can all go all in with a platform. All of these cloud providers tend to have their own system and technology for doing machine learning these days. So below here is like a partial list of the AWS services that are available in the machine learning space right now. For example, if you just want to do speech recognition or image recognition, they have services that are uh, available of the self that will just do that for you, and you can obviously integrate those very easily with other AWS service to build larger systems like the ones that we have been looking at here. So something to consider as well, although it's always gonna be a good idea to sort of prototype ideas offline in a notebook or something like that, but ultimately the way that you implement them for a larger system could be very different. So I hope that gives you sort of high level idea of how you might actually do about models to a real world system. Again, the key insight into is separate the generation of the model itself and it results from the problem of actually serving those results to a massive fleet of consumers of that data. Whether you go with AWS or Google Cloud Services or roll your own or use Microsoft Azure, I mean, those are all the topics of entire courses of their own. Like, I cannot cover that in whole lot of depth right now, but at least that gives you a starting point of where to explore if you are in a position trying to deploy these results to some place real.